March 18th, Mike Tyson raised the verdict, dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of BoxTalk. Today we've got a stacked card with 3 marquee names taking on 3 opponents to see where they go. Each fight has implications down the lines. We've got the return of former undisputed light heavyweight champion Chad Dawson versus George Blades. We've got Devon Alexander versus Jesus Carras, and we've also got Robert Guerrero versus Yoshiro Kamagai. Ade,
we done quite well. Yoshiro Kamagai.
Yeah,
that's quite impressive to remember all those names. First, who we got? Chad Dawson first?
Chad Dawson.
Look, there's no two ways about it. It's a big rebuilding job for Chad Dawson. There's no two ways about it. It's a big rebuilding job. Everyone remembers the Stevenson KO, but let's not forget before that he got destroyed by Ward. Yes, he dropped weight, but like all fighters do in the build-up, this weight loss is no problem.
By choice.
Exactly. I can drop weight. This is easy. 168. I remember a few weeks before the fight, I'm already weighing in at 170, so what's another 2 pounds? And then he got destroyed. And let's have it right, he got destroyed. Yeah. It shocked me. He almost quit. He quit.
He was mentally broken by the third or fourth round.
He quit. You know what I mean? Because he got knocked down. He didn't get brutally beaten up. He got knocked down. Referee asked, do you want to continue? And he actually, I think, said no. And that shocks me about him. I've never... You look, his name's bad.
Yeah.
Chad Bad Dawson. That's his name. That's what we've grown up on him watching. So I was shocked by him quitting.
I'm on the other side of the coin to you with Chad Dawson. I actually like Chad Dawson. I think as a talent, he's tremendous. But he's definitely missing something in his game. I mean, the most aggressive I've ever seen Chad Dawson was when he threw Hopkins on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's his highlight reel of aggression. He's got all the skills, a good puncher, but he just doesn't have that killer instinct.
Where does the nickname come from then?
I do not know. And he gets a lot of slack on Twitter and by the network saying he's boring. The guy's a talented fighter and potential. But I think he's in a situation now where it's kind of 2 bad stoppage defeats.
Yeah. Bad stoppage defeats for different reasons.
Yeah. And making a comeback, always changing trainers, always shifting, going back and forth. His head's not in the game, and that's his problem. Yeah,
look, I mean, you're right, he is a talented boxer. Yeah. A very talented boxer. Yeah. But it's strange how, since he went down to the 168 fight against Ward, the light heavyweight division, the landscape just changed completely with Kovalev and Stevenson. He was almost fighting the old landscape. Bernard Hopkins, Jean Pascal, he was almost fighting those guys. The 2 new guys have come up, exactly. Tarver, he fought twice.
Glenn Johnson twice.
Exactly. So the landscape's changed so much since he got beat by Ward and beat by Stevenson. Cleverly's gone, Bellew's gone. I still think Dawson's got a hell of a lot to offer in that landscape. But you're right. The aggression needs to come out. The aggression doesn't come out at all.
It does need to come out, but like you said, you fought the old guard. But the old guard, I mean, that's a who's who. Chad Dawson, Glenn Johnson, Tarver, Hopkins. I mean, these are great names. These are great names. These are all world champions. So it shows he has the ability, and he's beating these guys all well, except for the first fight with Johnson
and Pascal as well.
Yeah. So George Blades, a decent name for a comeback.
He has lost 5.
Yeah, for a comeback.
Beat by Jean Pascal.
Yeah, Jean Pascal was a knockout. Lost TKO, I think it was. But what do you say for Chad?
The good thing for Chad, and this is what helps him. A, age helps him.
Yeah.
B, the fact we know he's a great boxer helps him. And C, he's in a division where they're not lacking names.
Yeah.
He's in a division where there's quite a few players out there, and chucking him into the mix might help him. I mean, might help the division. Right now, it's almost looking like a Stevenson-Hopkins showdown. Yeah. Kovalev's fighting, I think, in August. Yeah. So Chad Dawson being chucked right back in the middle of that kind of little landscape helps it. Because right now, if Stevenson does beat Hopkins, say he does, then it's kind of, okay, where do we go again? Chad Dawson being chucked right in there. I know for a fact I'd like to see the Stevenson-Chad Dawson fight rematch happen. Hopkins-Dawson, I wouldn't mind. And Kovalev-Dawson, I wouldn't mind. So he's in a position where I think his name is still relevant in the light heavyweight division. I think that's what helps him. And I think, he's going to do the business. Moving on very quickly, Alexandra coming back to fight Sosa Carras. What do you think?
I think it's a good fight. I like it, but to me, it smells like a setup fight. It smells like a setup fight again. And when I say a setup fight, it's a fight where already it's a fight set for Alexander to win.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fight for him. It's a comeback after he's lost to Porter. It's a moving forward fight.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from Sosa Carras. It's a very good fight. Been through the windmill with everyone. He's fought loads of people.
He is Mr. Gatekeeper.
He always gives 110%, But I feel he's a smaller guy and he's being put into this fight to make up the numbers.
Yeah. Sosa Crest is that guy that I wanted Kell Brook to fight about a year and a half, 2 years ago. That is the name I was begging out for Kell Brook to fight. A guy that's kind of on the crest. You wouldn't say he's at the elite, but he's definitely a legitimate gatekeeper. He definitely gives everyone problems. He beat Andre Berto.
Yes, he did.
I think he did.
He did. No.
I'm getting mixed up with names. I have to remember. I'm getting mixed up with the names.
It's not Andre Berto late.
Remind us, guys, but we'll get the name up again. But yeah, look, he's definitely a guy that can mix it with the best. Thing about Devon Alexander for me, he's in this weird kind of mix. He definitely isn't the best in the division. Yeah. We know that. He definitely ain't the worst in the division. He definitely does not have enough power at 147. There's no two ways about it. I think he's a small 147 guy. And I think the bigger 147 guys are going to exploit that. But Porter showed that.
He makes up with to be a very talented person.
He's fantastically talented.
The problem with Alexander, similar to who else it was told the other day falls asleep in the ring. Anyway, so the thing with Alexander is that he's just not busy enough.
Yeah.
He likes to sit back and he kind of circles and looks good at what he's doing, but he's not doing a lot. Okay. And for him, so for a boxer of his talent and of his youth, he should be more aggressive and use that jab, use that right hand more, and get convincing victories.
I don't think. Yes, he beat Randall Bailey, but I think we kind of saw a definite backward step in Timothy Bradley fight. And I don't think people forgot about that. Yeah. Again, I don't like talking about boxers quitting in the ring, but you watch fights, you can see when things you see a big shift. And I saw in that Bradley fight, it got tough, the headbutts, etc., etc. Good, really good fighters overcome that. It seems as though he didn't know how to overcome that. He was unbeaten at the time, and I just think he came up against a fighter, and I don't think in the public side he's really recovered from that. But look, you're right, it's a settled fight. It's a fight that I think he does win, but he's got to look impressive doing so.
He's got to look impressive. It's hard to look impressive when someone's walking you down. But I do see Alexander going forward in this fight and winning a convincing, if not possible, some sort of late stoppage. He needs to put the pressure on. He knows it. And think about someone like Alexander. He's a world champion in 2 weight classes. He knows the way boxing works. The parts we don't know, the parts people don't know, the behind closed doors. He knows that he ain't going to get a title shot, or he ain't going to make that extra money or get that extra credibility unless he do something special.
Yeah, and he needs to. Finally, look, we're talking about a guy that's been out for over a year, Robert Guerrero. We didn't really hear about injuries after the Mayweather fight, so you kind of question why he's been out for a year. People forget, I think he's a full-weight world champion. He's now back against a guy whose name I cannot pronounce, Yoshiro Kamagai.
Yeah.
What's going on with Robert Guerrero? The Ghost. The Ghost because he disappears.
Robert Guerrero, I think, is one of those people... No, Robert Guerrero... Life was in a lot of problems. His wife was really sick. She had to go through a lot of surgery. They had a lot of money problems due to the surgery because in America they had to pay for their things. And I think for him that Mayweather fight was like the golden ticket.
Oh, it was.
He got the money. He looked after his family. He sorted out his wife's treatment, looked after her, spent time, and I think his mind was away from boxing.
And you've got to admire that.
And I admire that. I respect that. I will not say a bad word about that at all. So I think he was away. Another thing about him trying to leave Golden Boy and blah blah blah. I think that's just more of office politics more than anything else. I think he was away, focusing on his life, focusing on his family. Because before he fought Mayweather, before he came to 147, he was in active injury. I think it was a shoulder injury.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so he was out the ring for a while, and through that whole turmoil, I think he needed that time to bring himself back mentally and physically, and look after his family. So him coming back now, don't care if it's 1 year or 2 years, give the man a break.
No, you're right. Look, Robert Guerrero is one of my favourite fighters as well out there. I mean, he has moved up the weights. He's moved them up. I think he should have probably stopped at 140. I think he jumped to 140, went straight from 135, had the fight against, I can't remember, then had the fight against Andre. Yeah, and then had the fight against Andre Berto. Yeah. And then he almost turned from a very cute boxer to a slugger, which is what we saw. Yeah. We saw that against Andre Berto. And against Mayweather, I mean, for a boxer to get completely outboxed, mentally that can play with you a bit. And he lost pretty much every round. He was competitive, but he lost pretty much every round. So it's definitely a case of go back, reevaluate, and this is probably a good fight to do that.
It definitely is a good fight to do that. I think with Guerrero, when he doesn't have the physical strength.
Yeah, that's the problem.
To box with these guys, so he has to try to outmaul them, outwork them. Whereas you can outmaul someone without being physically strong by having a high work rate and keeping in their grill right up on their chest. So that's how he's winning fights right now, because again he doesn't have the physical strength to actually.
Which is what we saw against Berto.
Exactly. Also, in the Mayweather fight, which I saw with Guerrero, which I thought, again, this is the same thing, part of his whole family situation, that he's not always in shape. Yeah. For a guy coming as a smaller weight class, And in the photo shoots taken before, he wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
So I think that has a thing going for him as well. Whereas you're a smaller guy, he has to stay in shape and maintain in shape. But because of the family issues, I think that kind of sidetracked him.
Yeah, I mean, look, we heard from Amir Khan and Guerrero on Twitter, to be fair, that was a fight they were looking at.
Yeah.
Before the Galazzo Khan was mentioned, Khan Guerrero, so you never know, eventually down the line, that would do. I still think, though, that 147 is too big for him. I would like to see him go down to 140. I don't know how old Guerrero is. I don't know in terms of making weight. But a guy that was fine at 135, 132 3 years ago, I think he should be able to make 140 comfortably.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look on the flip side. Camera guy. I haven't seen him fight personally, but rumor has it this guy comes to fight.
This guy's serious.
He comes out to fight. Serious. Comes to put everything. A lot of people in social media are saying this guy could try to pull an upset.
Yeah.
So let's not sleep on him and think, guess what? Guerrero's good. Being inactive and fighting a guy that comes on you, that could actually fight and box, makes it a difficult return match.
Yeah, and his guy's lost only once, so he's not coming over as a guy that's, here to take a beating. He's lost once. Again, I think we forget for these guys, it's a big opportunity for them as well. I mean, we saw it happen with Algeria Provodnikov. Yeah. I'm not sleeping on anyone anymore. If I don't know you, it's not because you're not a great boxer, because I've not seen you before. I've not seen this guy before, but it doesn't mean I don't know him. I think Guerrero mentioned that he's trained by his dad as well, so he's going to bring something hard to the fight as well. I don't know who wins this fight. I mean, I think Guerrero should comfortably win, but like you say, Guerrero's been out of the ring for over a year. Mentally, I don't know where he is at the moment, so you never know. I can't call it, really.
I'm picking Guerrero strictly on name recognition and also a respect for the man as a person. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
There you go, guys. Look, it's a big card. It's without, and this is no exaggeration, and this is honest to God, in terms of names, this could be the biggest card of the year. I mean, I'll run through Gary Russell, Lamanchenko. We have Chad Dawson in the ring. We've got Devon Alexandra coming back. We've got Robert Guerrero coming back. I mean, if I was in America, I'd go to this show. This sounds like it could be a great show. It's almost a show, minus Lamanchenko, Russell Jr., it's almost a show of people having to fight so we know where they are still. Yeah. Where's Chad Dawson? Is he really in the mix again like heavyweight division? I think he is. We'll see. Guerrero and Alexandra, two big names in 147 division. Guys that are definitely in the top 10, but really for them, they want to be in the top 5 getting the big paydays. And we saw the Lamanchenko video already with Gary Russell Jr. That headlines the card. Guys, great card. What do you think? Get your comments below. We want to know everything about this fight. Email us at
boxtalk@hotmail.co.uk.
And guys,
and please follow us on Twitter at BoxTalkUK.
And also don't forget to subscribe. We need your subscribe hits. Come on, press that button. It's easy to do. Remember, for all your latest boxing news as well, check out ringnews24.com. And guys, thanks for tuning in for another special edition, this one, of Box Talk.